The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
You know, Rav Pam, Alav Shalom, was famous for being a person of unbelievable midot. I had the privilege and the honor to have, as my third grade Rebbe in school, was the son of Rav Pam, the Rosh Shiva in Torah Vadat. I had the merit of having his son, and his son really learned the message, the lessons from his father, and his approach to teaching was so gentle and it was so encouraging, exactly like his father. Anyway, I remember reading that the rabbi, during the year of Avelut, when his mother passed away, so he would go to the simachot of all the talmidim, of the students. He would come to the wedding. He's not allowed to be at the wedding. He's Avel. So he would come to the wedding before everything started, before the chuppah, say Mabruk, Mazal Tov, give them beracha. Now, imagine driving to a wedding and only getting to be at the wedding for 2 minutes. You have to leave after that. You can't be there for the music, can't be there for the celebration. So he would leave. Sometimes he had not just a wedding every night, but he had a wedding, 2 weddings in one night. Eventually the students came to the rabbi and they said, "Rabbi, we know how much you love us. We know how much you care about every Jew. But you're an Avel. Everybody knows you're an Avel. Everybody knows that you have a wedding every single night, sometimes 2 weddings on the same night. No one would be upset at you, Rabbi. If you stayed home, it's difficult. It's too much for the rabbi to push himself to go to a wedding every night." And the rabbi said with a smile on his face, in the way that only a gadol responds, he said, "For me, it's every night. But for this chatan, it's only tonight." The power of greatness in a person is in the ability to be able to see things not through his own eyes or through his own experience, but through the experience of the person that's standing in front of him, that needs something from him, whether it's money, whether it's help, whether it's encouragement, whether it's a beracha, whether it's advice. For that person, it's the only opportunity they ever got. There was a great rabbi, the Divrei Heskel, and he was from a very young age, he was very successful at being a great leader in the Jewish people. Anyway, one day, one of his students came to the father of the rabbi, and they said, "You know, I just want to tell you what an amazing rabbi your son is." He says, "Really? Why do you say that?" He goes, "You don't know. He knows the Gemara, he knows the Torah, he knows the Mishnah, he knows Kabbalah, he knows this, he knows that. No matter what we ask him, he's able to answer on the spot. What an unbelievable rabbi." And the rabbi says to this young man, he says, "That makes him a gaon. It doesn't make him a rabbi. That makes him a genius, a brilliant scholar, but he's not a rabbi." He says, "Well, you know what else, Rabbi? It's unbelievable what he does. The way he prays, you don't know, he prays with such devotion. The way he does mitzvot, you could feel the energy and the fire coming off of him. Unbelievable. I never saw anyone so devout, so connected, so strong." The rabbi says, "That does not make him a rabbi. That makes him a tzaddik, a righteous man. But that does not make him a rabbi, a leader of men." He says, "Well, I want to tell you," he says, "the other day, the rabbi was walking through the streets of the city. It was a terrible, freezing cold day. Snow was coming down, and it was wet. It wasn't that nice kind of snow that they sing songs about. It was the wet, sludgy snow that everyone kind of wishes wasn't. And he saw a man shivering on the corner with no coat. He ran over to him. He took off his own coat, and he wrapped this poor man in the coat and told him to go find somewhere warm to shelter for the night because the snow was forecast to go into the morning. And he walked home in the freezing cold, in the wet snow, without a coat himself." And the father's eyes lit up, and he said, "If that's what he did, then he's a rabbi." Unbelievable. Sometimes the only thing it takes in order to save a life is being able to leave the pampered comforts of your home and to see with your own eyes the suffering that's going on in someone else's life. And if you see it, if you truly see it, you can't help yourself but get involved, and ultimately that person will be saved because you truly saw the suffering that they went through.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org